This is the Dover Download Podcast. My name is Christopher Parker, and for the past 25 years, I've had the pleasure of working with, learning from, and talking to a variety of volunteer, staff, and community members. This podcast explores conversations, activities, and a variety of policies and programs which exist here in Dover to improve the community in one way or another. With Thanksgiving coming up, that means that the holiday season is about to begin. And what happens after Thanksgiving? We all realize that we didn't buy for that special someone for the upcoming Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever celebration you have, including my birthday, which is coming up after Thanksgiving. So for those of you listening that want to celebrate, feel free. I would encourage you to do your shopping downtown. And today we're going to meet with Doug Glennon and Shelby Meyerowitz to talk about why you should shop downtown, what events are coming up downtown, and what shopping downtown looks like. So if you two could maybe take turns and tell the listener who you are, what you're representing today, and what your relationship to shopping downtown is.
I have Hip Finds Company downtown, so I have a retail establishment, and we get together around the holidays, fall and winter months, with other local business owners, and we try to come up with a game plan for community events in the area. So we have a couple different things coming up.
Yeah, and my name's Doug from Jewelry Creations downtown, and I'm also part of the same retail group that we kind of convene to kind of join the retailers together and bring these sense of community events to the town.
You know what I think is great about this grouping that you've done is you've recognized that when you all work together, you all are successful. And that the more you support each other, the more collaboratively you're going to interact. And I've been to both of your stores, and you've both referenced me to other places downtown that might have had what I needed as opposed to what I thought I wanted.
We're both firm believers of community over competition, so the more the merrier, and the more people are coming into the community and shopping. And if it's not something that we might not have ourselves, that there's definitely room for other people to shop in the community, and we like to pass the light around.
You know, what strikes me about shopping these days, particularly retail, but to some degree services as well, is on the one hand, you have so much choice because online or the various brick and mortar retailers, there's so much choice. On the other hand, you're all trying to be unique. Like you want to have your own character, your own vibe, but you need to appeal to a customer. So how do you do that? Well, you do that by picking the direction you're going to go, but then not bemoaning your competition by just not trying to step on their feet. And I think it's pretty cool when you go into your stores and to the other stores downtown to be able to think, oh, I'm right down the block from someone else that might have the other version of this, or I don't need this candle, but I need that. Oh, they have that up the street? Great.
I'll give you an example. So I specifically don't carry a lot of New Hampshire items, but there's two other local businesses in town that do. So if somebody comes in and they're saying, oh, we're traveling or we're looking for a postcard to send to somebody out of town or out of state, where can we find something with that? So we have Erin Claire, and we also have My Country Story. So they always have something with the New Hampshire emblem on it, or so that's always nice to say, oh, we know if we don't have it, we know exactly where to direct you. So.
Right. So how did you guys come together? What was the impetus for that organization?
So just before COVID, there was a few of us retailers that were starting to notice a almost retail resurgence back in the downtown, where it had wallowed for a little while. We felt like it was starting to come back. So a few of us got together and started talking about things we could kind of collaborate on to kind of start thinking about the downtown area as a shopping area, a shopping district, almost, like in the outlet malls or something like that, outside shopping. And so...
What, a mall without indoor?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about that downtown core area, you can walk it in the same amount of time you can a mall. And so we all just kind of started getting together, and we created this event called Dover 20 and 20. We had a hashtag for it. We started social media rollout in 2019, and then COVID hit. And so that kind of brought all that to a screeching halt. And so there's a little bit of a lull there. And now we're back to convening again and trying to bring these events back. It started with Visit Downtown Dover. So if you go to visitdowntowndover.com, you'll see some blog posts and some of the event stuff that we roll out there. And so it's just kind of grown as the retail space has grown within the downtown. And not only are we growing it past just beyond that, we're growing it to include restaurants. Now we're growing it to include just the entire community to start rolling out some events to kind of have fun and join in together in a city that we love,
One of the things that I want to hit on is and sitting in front of me for the listeners, a list of upcoming events that you all are involved with and that are going to occur in the community. And before we jump into them, one of the ones that makes me very happy to see is the Sunday of the holiday parade, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. As I read this, I'm thinking, are people actually going to take advantage of people being downtown for the holiday parade and are retail going to be open that day? It's always flummoxed me that everything doesn't treat that as a Saturday and just be open and recognize that there are a bunch of people downtown that want to be actively engaged with the community.
So it's going to be hard for us because we're going to be in the parade. I'll let my costume be a surprise to people. Let's see it when we see it.
I'm reaching out to Kelly to ask her. Why don't we talk about some of these events? It starts on Friday, Plaid Friday. I think most people know what that is at this point, but it's certainly a local version, right?
Yep. So the retailers, a lot of us are going to get together. We're going to decorate our doors, our front doors, our windows. Somewhere in the front of the storefront, you should see some plaid happening. And then some retailers are giving discounts if you come in wearing plaid as a customer that day. So different incentives. Everybody's doing a little something different. But it's fun. It's kind of come downtown and make your rounds. As Doug said, there's lots to see and do. You can park and make your eat shop. And yeah.
And on that Friday too, there's free parking. Plaid Friday is always free parking. And which we'll also be doing following Saturday. We've worked with the Parking Commission and the City Council to give free parking on Saturdays throughout the holidays. So starting that Saturday after Thanksgiving, going all the way to the end of the year, every Saturday up until 5 p.m., we'll have the garage park will be free, as well as the 4th Street lot. So that's a great incentive to help people just come downtown and enjoy the space without having to worry about where they're parking or, keep an eye on the parking meter and all that sort of thing.
So I think it's great to point out the parking change, because that's something that the Parking Commission has not been opposed to in the past, but I think hearing from the merchants, hearing from the downtown community that was an important part that really isn't a negative impact to the community. And I mean community in the sense of the financial impact of the loss of parking revenue. When you equate that against the value of the increased activity downtown, it's a clear sign of why the Parking Commission and then ultimately the City Council backed that move. And I can't see how it won't be successful. It's a great idea to spread the holiday cheer.
Yeah. And the impression I got from them is it's less about the financial impact as far as losing the day of parking revenue. It's really more about making sure that the parking system moves well. And so we've experimented with a couple different things over the year, and we're kind of starting to settle on this kind of philosophy. So it used to be like just Saturday, where we just say everything's free downtown, to moving to, well, let's just do every Saturday, but ease it back a little bit so that way we still have movement on the streets. And the Parking Commission has been great to work with. They've been really helpful in kind of navigating that with us.
So that first weekend, Shelby, we have the Plaid Friday, we have Small Business Saturday, and then we have the Holiday Parade and the Artist Sunday. What's the Artist Sunday?
Yes. So Artist Sunday is just, it's actually a national holiday now, but they just highlight all local artists. So we have a couple galleries, art galleries that will be planned to be open. And I know a lot of the retailers, if they have small makers or artists, that they're going to be highlighting a vendor or maybe a few of them from their businesses. So that, yep. And then times that's running from 12 to 5 p.m., but most businesses are going to be open and then make an effort to be open. Retailers who are not usually open on Sundays will plan to be open that Sunday. So.
That's great.
And that will be something fun to do before the holiday parade also. So the holiday parade starts at 3 p.m. that Sunday, December 1st. So that's a nice come down early, park, have your stroller, go have lunch, get a bite to eat, then go hop in and have fun in the parade.
And Doug, can you walk me through what Cyber Monday is? No. I mean, I get what Cyber Monday is in general, but how does Dover Cyber Monday operate?
Yeah. So, I mean, as it happens, our store, just like many other stores downtown, all have e-commerce sites. And so when you are, wandering around on Cyber Monday and your computer looking around for a place to shop, just consider your downtown or Dover businesses. There are many cases where we all will hand deliver stuff to somebody if they need it, or we have a crunch time. Whereas, rather than waiting a couple of days to get your package, we might be driving it up the street to you. So there is an option for Cyber Monday to still shop local. And I think I'd encourage people to do that as well. Yeah.
So then the following, or the end of that week, the Friday of that week, is the Festival of Trees. And then just short of a week later is the Holiday Stroll. And this is something that's third annual at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I love that. That tends to be the night I do all of my Christmas shopping. But for those of you that are not me, what is the Holiday Stroll?
So the holiday stroll, all of the retailers, they open a little bit later. So it usually takes part between 4 to 8 p.m. And then every retailer is different. So I'll give you an example. My Country Story, she hides little figurines in her shop. So if you find that, you get a discount off. Some places will have hors d'oeuvres or something sweet or a little something that they offer. Some people will have gift cards or a raffle going on. So it's kind of fun. Everybody's doing their own little holiday cheer and putting their own spin on it. But just as we're working together as a community, it's going to make the event just that much more special, I think.
We're trying to add things like bringing carolers in to go around to the stores and just kind of create a more festive, vibe downtown to kind of get you in the spirit while you're out shopping and looking at things. And
just to circle back to the Dover Cyber Monday, our plan is right now we're getting feedback from all of the retailers and see anybody else who wants to join on that might be having a special. But we're going to plan to list everybody's who wants to participate, their businesses, their websites, where to find them, and then what special or discount they may be offering. Just so, same thing if you're in the comfort of your own home on Cyber Monday, and instead of shopping a big brick and mortar shop, you're able to shop small that way. So even if you're at the comfort of your own home, you can still shop from your couch. We'll ship it to you, or you can pick up in store. But it's another way just to emphasize that how much the community appreciates you shopping small versus all of these big corporations and big franchises. So
and that information will be located on visitdowntowndover.com.
And I think it's an interesting point that you both make that most people don't think about. You don't have to be a retailer only on the cloud to have an e-commerce presence. So when we think of the cyber, you're absolutely right. Your mind thinks about some nebulous company that who knows who works there or what they're really doing. Almost any business today has some form of web presence, and the advent of e-commerce and sort of the reinforcement of that through COVID, I think it's a great opportunity, as you say, to reinforce that you can buy it online. And just as I can buy my groceries online and go and pick them up at curbside, you can do the same thing. And Doug, I think you're absolutely right. It's particularly during the holidays, that shipping is never as quick as it's going to say. So if I can order something from Shelby and come down on my lunch break and pick it up, or especially if you're driving it over.
Or if it's close by, that way, even if it's our local post office and we're shipping it to your door, it's only a matter of a few days, not it's coming halfway across,
Right.
Here, there, and everywhere.
So the businesses, I think it's great to hear about Communitively. Do you want to talk in general about that? If people want to learn more about that group, how can they find out more about the organization you all are representing?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to communitively.org. It's IBELY.org. that'll kind of give you the quick overview of who we are and what we do. The most of our front end presence, visit downtowndover.com, and also visit Downtown Dover Instagram and Facebook profiles. And so I would encourage listeners to go find those two and follow them, because we post there all of our events and what's going on downtown throughout the year. As I said, as we've kind of grown, we're expanding to be beyond just retailers, and communitively will expand past that to include restaurants, to include other civic organizations and that sort of thing. We're a volunteer board. There's 5 of us board members, and we're just getting started. So we're finalizing our exemption status with the IRS and all that other stuff right now. Once that's all complete, we have plans for summer parties. We have some plans for some winter parties that will focus on being a Dover citizen, and focus on collaborating with Dover residents and Dover businesses to just create events that bring people together and enjoy the city that we all love,
Not to get too far off a field of the shop local, which is certainly the backbone of this conversation, but what you just described sounds like a great launch point from what we experienced last year during the 400th celebration with the block parties, with the events that were not focused on anything more than celebrating ourselves and celebrating the fact we're a community, and we thrive better by supporting each other and getting engaged. And I think that is both the underlying message of why you should support local businesses and shop local, but also, to your point, Doug, the more we are interacting and building that community, the better we're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, Amazon isn't going to come down here and put on a summer block party and have and bring residents together. The only way that's going to happen is if we residents and citizens of Dover get together and put that together. And in that 400 vein, we have some people from the 400 in our group that are working with us on that block party, because that's kind of the notion that we're building it under, is that summer block party, how fun and successful that was. We want to kind of recreate that on a yearly basis if we can.
As we wrap up, is there any message you want to leave the listener with?
Just shop small, shop local. It helps our community grow, so we're able to also give back as people are shopping with us. So same thing, we have a lot of fundraisers, a lot of school fundraisers, a lot of church fundraisers and things, and people come to our community not necessarily asking for things, but just in respect. So it's a nice two-way street of bringing, we're giving, and to receive that support as well. I think even just when you're supporting small during the holiday season, it keeps our money in the community. We're able to give back. We're able to hang on another year. So a lot of our small businesses in town, the holiday season is our prime time.
Right.
So that makes us, for the summer months and all of the other months that might not be as busy, we're able to kind of offset. So that's one of those things. And then even just being the face. So even the day after, if you got holiday gifts and you're coming to return in person, we know you. We know your face. We know who you are as a person. We know your family. It's a different sense of, I'm in at Staples trying to return my Amazon goods the next day and nobody could care less. You have a smiling face. You have somebody who appreciates you walking through their door every day. So I feel like that gets lost in the holiday shuffle because everybody's always busy and they get stressed and they're, looking for the easiest way out. But I just would like people just to kind of reiterate how important the community is, and we hold you as a platform. So it's able to go both ways, and it's a nice feeling when you're supported and you're able to give support.
Your point about the local economy, if you look at the data about how much of the dollar I spend at one of your stores stays in the community and gets reinvested in the community, and more so to your point about the societal benefit of, I know if I come in and say, Shelby, this is what I bought here before, I need something like it, but not it, then you're going to be able to say over here, and over here. Same with you, Doug. If I go in and say, well, actually, I think you have a list of what I bought.
Which is helpful, yeah.
We'll keep practicing. You can flip through and say, okay, then that's one of those things that you don't find that.
No, yeah.
And so having that reinforced, and I think what's even more special is how you're looking at combining those aspects with the community vitality aspects of taking advantage of and reinforcing the holiday parade, creating the holiday stroll with the carolers and with the creating a vibe that it's not just, hey, come and support me because I need your business. It's come and support the community and get engaged in the community. And
We're building community connections. So it's a nice,
right.
yeah, it's a nice under a big umbrella. Same thing communitively. I look at it as we're just trying to host people under a canopy of fun. So we're having a block party. We want the more the merrier. Everybody's invited. There's room for everybody. So it's just a nice overall feel of.
I wanted to
community.
key in on something you said. You said societal benefit. And to me, for the person coming downtown or shopping local, it's not a societal benefit as in you're helping other people. It's a social benefit. You're helping yourself.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the community that you live in. You're enjoying getting to know the people that in the community that you live in and getting to know the shop owners and that sort of thing. So it's always been a great personal benefit to me being active and engaged in the community with places like the Greater Dover Chamber of Commerce and things like that. I feel like it's benefited me more than it's benefited the community. And even though I know that what I'm doing is also benefiting the community. So it's really, I think that's an important point for people to remember when they're just coming out to hang out and be part of the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And to reinforce one last time, visit downtowndover.com. Has your events schedule, has who's on, what stores are involved, and how you can support them and the community at large.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
And to you.
Same to you.
92% of the year has passed. And with that, we have another month where we can hear what the boards, committees, and commissions of this community have accomplished. Today, we have Aaron DeSaggio of the Planning Department and Brian Early of Media Services to walk us through all the wonderful things that may have occurred in November. Aaron, how are you today?
Good. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. Brian?
Doing well as well.
Brian, I know the City Council had a couple meetings this month. What did they focus on?
The first meeting was a workshop on the capital improvements program. It was introduced in October. It went through the planning board review and it was endorsed. Now it's to the city council. So they had a workshop going over through the projects of it. At their regular meeting on November 13th, they had a public hearing for the 3 different resolutions that they have. And Chris, the CIP has first year projects and also has it's a long-term program, and it's sort of broken up into like 3 different parts of it.
Right. So there's the actual plan itself, which is the broad range plan within the program. The program is sort of the systematic overview, and the program has 3 resolutions, as you mentioned. One that says this is the first year plan. We're just adopting the plan as it is. The second is the debt finance portion, authorization to issue debt for those projects. And then there's a resolution for non-debt financed. And as you said, all 3 of those had their public hearing and prior to that a workshop. And the workshop had really Fire Chief Perry Plummer came and spoke about a couple changes that he is suggesting be made after the manager had locked in the recommended plan. And it really revolves around some opportunity to purchase ambulances and some equipment that we might be able to get a better deal on if we shift the order of operations there. So he walked the council through that. And then they had a special meeting after that workshop to move those considerations forward and sort of replace the plan that had been proposed. And that all will come to a head hopefully at the December 11th council meeting when they have their first opportunity to adopt the CIP as presented.
And part of that CIP will include likely a plan from the Joint Building Committee for the Dover High School Athletic Complex, which is still being worked on. They had a meeting in November, a couple meetings in November. One, they have their preliminary estimates from their design construction firm. And now they've been working on to with that really focus their scope and reduce the cost, get a more accurate cost, which I think is going to be part of a workshop prior to the CIP adoption.
Right. My understanding, and it's good to point out that it's a second-year project. It's not a first-year project. So there's a little bit of flexibility here. But as you say, as they get more concrete numbers, concrete as in their estimates as opposed to conceptual, I think we want to be updating the CIP to reflect that. And the work they're doing with Ekman Construction, who is their pre-construction consultant, to sort of hone in on some of the price components. It is certainly a project that is evolved. It was we need to put new turf down on the field, and then it sort of recognized that you don't do that in a vacuum, that there's track improvements that can be made, there's lighting improvements. Certainly there's bleachers if anyone's been out there to a football game or to a athletic event or the band show is seeing that the actual bleachers could use a little love. So I think this committee you mentioned is really looking at full scope and then looking at how they can be cost conscious for the project.
So the CIP is part of like the initial part of the whole budget that will happen, the FY26 budget. And another committee is starting to work on their budget, which is the school board. They had their initial presentation at their November 18th meeting. Superintendent William Harbron and Business Administrator Michael Lamani giving a high-level budget presentation that continued with a workshop on November 25th with departmental presentations. They're going to continue their budget workshops through most of December, with the school board planning to adopt in either early January, but at least by January 15th, which is by city ordinance. And then that will be sent over to the city manager. And along with the first year projects of the CIP, the school department's budget will be all presented as an overall budget in February.
And so it begins. Aaron, what's going on in the land use world?
November was a pretty light month. The Energy Commission met and discussed some of their ongoing projects, which includes one we've talked about before. And the exploratory phase has begun for a solar array at the wastewater treatment facility on Middle Road. Also some news that the planning department's bringing on a new resilience coordinator who will be providing staff support for the Energy Commission, as well as other resiliency initiatives for the city. So we're excited to share that. The steering committee met for their final meeting for the Conservation and Open Space chapter update of the master plan. Staff and committee members have been providing a lot of feedback to our consulting team, Resilience Planning, on that draft of the chapter, and it will now be going to Planning Board for potential adoption in December. Planning Board will be hearing a presentation from Resilience Planning in December, so we'll have more to come on that next month. That will be a busy December meeting for the Planning Board, so we'll have a lot to share on that. And the Community Housing Needs Committee met in November. They're currently working on finalizing their recommendations to council. We kind of have a lot of projects closing up here at the end of the year, and those recommendations are going to be involving long-term strategies for thoughtful development for the future of Dover. And they'll be presented to council in January when the term for that committee comes to an end. And a couple other meetings, the ZBA met. They reviewed and approved a variance related to frontage relief for a minor subdivision on Prospect Street. And finally, the planning board only had one meeting in November. They approved a TDR request on Boston Harbor Road. That was for 2 additional units for that site. And they also approved a TDR site plan for a project on Dover Point. That proposal had received previous approval for the actual TDR units. This was for the site plan for the project. So again, only the one meeting in November, but December will be a busy month, so we'll have more to report then.
I'll update the listener on a board that sort of fits in the middle of the planning world and the council world, and that's the Waterfront Committee. Waterfront Committee met in the middle of November, and they got updates on a variety of projects, including the Park Pavilion building, which we went out to bid. We have a preferred vendor to construct that amenity. We'll be going to the city council in December for award a bid for that. And the committee made the tough decision to say that we need to stay on budget. So it is removing the motorized boat dock. The dock is not motorized. The using boats of the dock would be motorized as opposed to the paddle sports dock. We had to put that on the back burner per se because of funding. And there is actually an opportunity for a grant. So we're going to pursue that so we can ultimately still have that amenity. We want to have it. But just looking at the over fiscal responsibility of the park and public improvement costs, we've run into more ledge, more soil issues, and some other things that have driven the cost up for the project. So in order to be accountable for that, the committee voted to put a pause on the dock at this time. So that's their activity. They probably won't meet in December, so I won't have anything to say about them next month, but maybe the parking committee will have met and we can talk about them. Appreciate you both coming in. The only thing I want to add, and I want to add congratulations to Erin for her promotion, recently promoted to city planner. And so congratulations to that.
Thanks, Chris.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the month.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Dover Download this week. If you like what you heard, subscribe through your favorite podcast aggregator. And if you have something you want to hear a topic on, let us know. Finally, this is just one of the many ways we share information about the city of Dover. You can subscribe to the Dover Downloads email newsletter every week or other newsletters that we have by going to the City of Dover homepage, www.dover.nh.gov. Have a great week.